So now we're covering quadratic equations. Now,
Yes.
quadratic equations have this form: quadratic equations. They have the following form. I'll write them just now. Quadratic equations. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I'm not happy about. We just try again. Yes. Cool.
Much
Quadratic
better.
equations. Quadratic equations, they have a form of ax squared plus bx squared plus c is equal to 0, right? They have that form. And when you're solving quadratic equations, you need to always ensure that the right-hand side, or any of the sides, but recommendedly, the right-hand side is equal to 0. But something that I didn't mention, which is something that's the same for all equations, is that whatever you do on the left-hand side, whatever you do on the left-hand side of the equation, you do on the right-hand side. Do it on the right-hand side. Now we're gonna go through about 6 types, if not more, of quadratic equations. Right?
Okay.
6 types, right? And you will see how everything that we've done so far helps us, right? I'll call them cases. We're gonna go over case 1. Case 1. So case 1 is basically quadratic, which can be written in the form. I'll say the form now. So quadratic equations. The case 1 is basically quadratic equations which can be written. Okay, my written is not spelled correctly. Which can be written, all right, in the form so it's basically a product. This is the form. Maybe I should write it differently. A product of vectors is equal to 0, right? Those are the quadratic equations that we'll first deal with, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's tackle some few examples of these. So number 1, you can have something like x plus 3 and x minus 4 is equal to minus 6. Now, you see the problem with this problem, just to start off with the first rules that we've introduced, is that the right-hand side is not 0, right?
Yes.
So, but in the process of doing that, we have to also kind of, I don't want to say this because it's I don't want you to think it's a standard, but we need to just multiply out this. You know, if we take the negative and we sort of like just bring it to that side, it's not gonna minus into anything if we don't get rid of these brackets here.
Okay.
Yes, so we have to multiply this out. So this is where your knowledge of simplification comes in, you know. So this is x squared minus 4x plus 3x and minus 12 is equal to minus 6. Now this becomes minus squared minus x minus 12 is equal to minus 6. Now we need to take the minus 6 to the other side. So, have x squared minus x. this is going to be minus 18 is equal to 0. Now we are good.
Yeah.
However, this type that we're dealing with, it says a product of factors, right? This, we must have a product of factors equal to 0. Now, at this point, you need to factorize the left-hand side, and I'll factorize the left-hand side with my so-called heavy way of doing it. Looking at the factors of 18, looking at which of those factors would give me minus x. So
Yeah.
that would be 1 and 18. The second factor is 2 and 9. The third factor is what? 3 and 6. What's the other factor there?
What is it? Isn't 4?
What's the other factor?
The other factor.
What is 18
18
divided by 4? Can you
4.
divide 18 by 4? No, you can't.
No.
5. Oh, okay. So these are the factors. Oh, okay. This is ugly. So the factors of 18 are only those factors.
Everything. 1, 2, 5, 1, 4, 4, 8, 16, 20, 6.
Okay, wait. I actually made a crazy mistake here.
8,
I made a crazy mistake, making the problem even hard to solve. This, I made a mistake, please check out. So when I took this -6 here going that side, I said it would be minus there, hence I got minus 18.
Oh, yeah.
So x squared minus x
Okay.
plus, oh sorry, minus 6 is equal to 0. Hence, I would be looking for factors of 6.
6, 1 and 6,
2 and 3, and that's it.
3.
I want to know which ones would give me minus x. It's the minus and the positive. And that I can open 2 brackets, set it equal to 0. Oh, no. I don't factorize that way anyway. So I factorize differently. So this would be x squared plus 2x and then minus 3x minus 6 is equal to 0. Are we happy?
Yes, sir.
I'll take x squared and minus it with 3x like that. And then I will take 2x and minus it with 6 like that. You'll see I've organized these such that I have a negative inside. So I chose to group this with that instead of just grouping it with 2. And I chose to take 2x with 6x like that.
Okay.
Okay, cool. And I'm very close right now. I can take a common factor in each one of them. It's going to be x. I'll be left with x minus 3 plus 2. Take out 2. I'll be left with x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now, I will then take out a common factor here of x minus 3. And then this would be x plus 2. Then I'm done. That's equal to 0. Now, I want to highlight something here. Do you see this form deals with a product of factors? Now, I do have a product of factors, right? This guy and that guy are factors of the guy over there. X squared minus x minus 6 would have factorizing meaning that its factors would have been these 2 gentlemen over there. Right, so anyway, the left-hand side was just factorizing. We know how to factorize. Okay, cool. Now, what do we then do in this case? Now, I want you to note something amazing, is that if you were to have n, you multiply n with m and you get 0. What can you say about n and m?
One of them is 0.
Thank you very much. One of them must be 0, or the best case is both of them are 0. And we just don't know which one is which. So
Is 0, yeah.
So we're just gonna say x minus 3 is either 0 or x plus 2 is 0, right? And then we're gonna get x is equal to minus 2 and x is equal to 3. So
3.
You know, equation is all about solving for the variable that is concerned, and we have solved for x here. Now, I want to tell you and be honest with you, people will think that this way of factorizing is a lot, right?
Yeah.
If you've done a lot of these, this becomes easy and you are so much guaranteed that it's going to work out. The other ways of factorizing is that the problem with them is that there are problems where it could get quite very hectic to factorize. I've worked with them, and there are times where I've gotten very uncomfortable with them. So this is my baby.
Okay, sir.
Cool. Second problem. We have 20 minus 6x is equal to 2x squared. In this problem, our objective is to ensure that the right-hand side is 0. Okay, we can do that by thinking about it this way. Take that to that side, or to that side, so that you stay with a positive 2x squared.
Positive.
Which is probably what I would like it to do. But as much as I'm taking them to that side, I'm rewriting them this side. So I would say this is my 2x squared. If I that would be plus 6x.
Plus 6x minus 20.
Right? And over here, I can see here if I can actually factorize a 2 out. So I factorize a 2 out. I'll be left with 3x minus 10. So
10.
5. And then I can focus on this guy, can find factors of that guy. That's 1 and 10, 2 and 5. I want a positive, so I want a positive 3x. So this would be 5x minus 2x. You see, this is another option of learning about factorization.
Yes, sir.
So you have x squared plus 5x minus 2x minus 10 is equal to 0. Once again, I would like to combine x squared with minus 2x and plus 5x with minus 10 for a similar reason to the one that we had earlier on. And then within those brackets, within these big brackets, I can take out x. I'll be left with x minus 2 plus I can take out 5. I'll be left with x minus 2.
Minus 2.
Now I can take that x minus 2 out and I'll be left with x plus 5 and equal to 0. And I would just multiply the 2 inside. I think a lot of people can lose this method by just being impatient about how long I do it. But if you work well enough and you focus well enough, the confidence that you will gain by seeing that actually I don't have to think a lot here. You don't have to think a lot. And you mathematically follow what you're doing. It makes you practice a lot of things like common factors, switch around and all those things. Those are the things that and ideas that where people get chopped. Okay, anyway, you can divide by 2 all the way out. In fact, instead of taking out a common factor earlier on, we could have divided by 2. Think about dividing by 2 here, and you'll have x plus 5 is equal to 0. Now, I would create a distinction, and I think this is the best way to say it, is that in an equation, you can divide by a factor. Or maybe, yeah, if it's not x involved. So you can divide by a 2 or a 5, or, you can't divide by anything that includes x because you don't know whether that x is 0 or what. And if it's 0, it's going to cause problems because it could be undefined if that's 0. That x is 0, sorry.
Okay.
So anyway, we have the same situation here where we can say x minus 2 is equal to 0 or x plus 5 is equal to 0. In this case, else would be minus 5. And in this case, x would be plus 2.
Okay, got it.
Okay, let's escape into a more, guys, every time people be like, why are you busy doing it this way? Like if I give you a problem like x plus 1 squared minus 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. If you know how to factorize, you don't have to think hard about what's happening.
How long is this? Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't even have to multiply things out. You can say, I know this is x plus 1, because you always know that on your left-hand side, you have to factorize. So what you can do, you would not even multiply this thing out, but you will factorize like a common factor. This would be x plus 1. And after x plus 1, if you take x plus 1 as a common factor, you will be left with x plus 1, minus 2. Are we happy? That would be equal to
yes,
0.
sir.
And then you'll then be left with x plus 1 and then x minus 1. Like that's equal to 0. So your x will either be -1 or your x would be 1. Right.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay, cool. That's the first case, where you have to sort of like deal with factors. And I will give you homework.
Okay, sir.
That was an easy class. Easy class.
Easy and short, yeah.
Yeah, easy and short. Probably because I have a class this hour. Okay, so
but sir, how are you coping with all this pressure?
I think I'm used to it. And also for me, this is mad. You see, for me, this is not hard work. This is something that I know. I don't have to learn this to present it, to teach.
Yeah, okay.
Something that I know. And I think my personality helps me as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my personality helps me a lot. I don't sulk when I'm gonna have a class. It's actually the opposite. I become very excited. Sometimes I can't even wait. Yeah, and it's actually a nice break from my own studies sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the way I will work with you, it's more like a homework more than it is tutorials.
Okay.
Because I've seen with my students that are writing in June, the tutorials can really be frustrating.
Sure. Yeah, I can back forward.
It can really be frustrating. Yeah, no, they are going through the most. No one has reminded me of class so far.
Hello.
Okay.
But the frustrations, before class, I know myself. Sometimes you just like don't feel like going, but because we need that, so I just wish you go to song is gonna excitement if I go class in class.
Oh yeah, no, my excitement is always like it's always there. Always there. Yeah, it's always there. That's your homework, and that's
okay,
it for me.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sure, cheers. I'll see you. What? I'll see you on Tuesday now.
Next week, Tuesday. Yeah.
That's insane. Okay. Okay, cool. Tuesday. I'll try to
but
see.
say if we are gonna tell me into or I don't know, maybe funny ad or something. I'm available into